Welcome back here to the beautiful North Gwinnett High School as we get ready to bring you more live Jared Cook Classic coverage. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back, starting lineups and tip-off shortly.
For the Cure. Our third game this evening pits the Hillcrest Rams going up against the Buford Wolves. Right now for our starting lineups for the visiting Hillcrest Rams. Number 10, Braylon Eagle. Number 11, Tyler Hooker. Number 20, Uriah Morris. Number 24, Jalen Taylor. And number 25, Darius White. Head coach for the Hillcrest Rams is Mr. Reggie Choplin. Ladies and gentlemen, the starting lineup for the Buford Wolves. Number 3, Trey Hansborough. Number 4, Devin Neal. Number 5, Taylor Mills. Number 20, Keaton Gibson. And number 34, Kyron Galloway. Head coach for the Buford Wolves, Mr. Alan Whiteheart.
All right, starting lineups have been introduced. We're about ready for tip-off. As you can hear the nice musical selections being played in the background by Webb's DJ services.
He's keeping the crowd going all night long.
Oh, he's the best in the biz, man. I want to also thank some of our other sponsors, part of this year's event. Crossover, coaches, let them save some time for you and break down your game film for you. Gwinnett Daily Post, specifically for all your local sports. Go to GwinnettPrepSports.com. And last but not least, CBA Sports also, as we're ready for the tip-off. It's underway. Hillcrest is going to have the first possession of the game here at the Jared Cook Classic. Buford, this will be their third Jared Cook Classic game. They are 2-0 thus far, a come-from-behind win versus Walton in day one, and a win at the buzzer versus Alpharetta yesterday. So as battle-tested as you can be for a one-day event, I'd say Buford is, but there we see a nice splash from the corner. That's number 11, Tyler Hooker for Hillcrest. And if that's the Hooker I believe it is, I believe I saw him as part of that SC Raptors team, which also featured Jawan Evans, one of the more talented point guards in the country, but an SC Raptors team that feasted on some of the elite summer basketball competition throughout the course of that season. But there we see Trey Hansborough, who also has really lit the buckets up here at the Jared Cook Classic. I'm Marcus Burnett, also joined by Sylvester Williams here on the mic. You've got a little bit of a South Carolina tie with Sylvester being on the call today.
Oh, yeah. Hillcrest out of Simpsonville, upstate South Carolina. Pretty dominant program. They've fell on a little bit of hard times, but historically they have been a tough program in the state of South Carolina.
As it's 3-3.
And not to be confused with the other Hillcrest out of the Sumter area, out of Hillcrest Dazzle.
Hillcrest inbounds it.
Oh, good pump fake.
Hooker's going to be aggressive here early on. Made his first three-pointer, unable to get that deuce to go inside. Mills off the mark on the shot.
Came up just a bit short.
Taylor Mills has had a good Jared Cook Classic as well. Trey Hansborough has really set the table and been the primary scorer on the offensive end, but make no mistake, Taylor Mills has been no slouch. Buford has really just let Hansborough set the tone early on, and Mills has picked his spots from there. Nice contest there by Hansborough. Long rebound. He'll go get it.
A little bit of early game jitters. No one can really seem to find the bottom of the basket. Had 2 3-pointers, but everybody else is coming up long. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Don't say can't find the bottom of the basket too loud, because if Hansborough hears you, he'll get a bucket on demand. He's been doing that all tournament. So I've really given Buford credit. Hansborough has come out and really set the tone, and when he's been hot, they've milked a hot hand. You haven't seen guys just trying to get shots, at a time where it may not be the most opportune for their team. They've fed Hansborough when he's been hot, and they've given him support as he's gotten the offense going. He's going to try the three-pointer, trying to follow up on the floater. No good. Rebound there by Darius White. He'll get it in the hands of Hooker.
Buford, the basketball team, has kind of been historically overshadowed by that powerhouse football program they have up there. But as you can see, we got quite a few 5-second call.
Got to give credit there to the defense by number 4, Devin Neal. He wouldn't let that barrier, that buffer needed to prevent the 5-second call be established, and he got Hooker to turn it over. So we've got a 5-3 ball game here. Buford with a 2-point advantage. And you talk about that powerhouse football program and how they've been undershadowed at times. And really, that's just relatively speaking, because they have been recognized for some of the players that they put out. You look at a Rakeem Lubin, the big fella that's up at UConn playing for Coach Kevin Ollie this year. And, some of the other pieces that have come through Buford, not to mention that girls basketball program, which has been solid with the likes of an Andrea Carter, Kayla Davis, who had a few years there as well, the Nelsons also. So, Buford, known for football, but definitely not a one-trick pony by any means. They get the steal. Hansborough, a lot of traffic. He'll be fouled, and he'll go to the free throw line. Not only has Hansborough scored early and often in this tournament, but he's also done a great job of getting to the free throw line very early. When a guy's using his shiftiness to score, that's one thing, but when he's also putting the defense in a position where they've got 4 or 5 team fouls, 2-3 minutes into a game, that's the type of situation that Buford can really take advantage of as far as having that many free throws in the first half.
Right now, the score is Hillcrest 3, Trey Hansborough 6. 7. Trey's taking care of all the scoring responsibilities today.
That's been his MO this tournament. He'll get it ahead to Taylor Mills. Mills going to be fouled on the play. So that's going to send Taylor Mills to the free throw line. And Hansborough's been a scorer, but he hasn't been a selfish scorer. You talked about having that good balance. Sometimes you need to be selfish, but he hasn't done it to a fault.
Exactly. A great distributor of the ball. And that's what separates the good ones from the bad ones right there. That's how you get a title of a ball hog, or a heady basketball player. A heady basketball player knows when to give it up, and a ball hog likes to shoot it. I have unfairly been given that title in my lifetime.
Unfairly, huh?
Unfairly.
They say there's 2 sides to every story. working hard in there, that's Braylon Beagle. Beagle, the 5'11 senior, makes it a 9-5 ball game. Nice bounce pass.
Oh, good block. Way to get back.
Smacking that one off the glass. That was number 24. That was Jalen Tatum. Looked like Hansborough had a layup off the seeing guy pass, but he swatted that one against the window. Trying to save it there was Austin Cowwile. Unable to do so. So ball back over to Buford. And we've touched base on Trey Hansborough as well as Taylor Mills, but also an important part for Buford is the guy with the ball right now. He just passed it, Keaton Gibson. He's their helmet and lunch pail player that never takes a play off. Offensive glass, defensive glass, 50-50 balls. Making sure he kind of, he sets a physical tone, with the guy that he's guarding and just on defense as a whole. Keaton Gibson is a very important part of this Buford team. He helps allow the Trey Hansboroughs and the Taylor Mills to do what they do. by just being a guy that just doesn't stop out there.
That motor just keeps running and keeps running.
He's also signed to play college baseball at Georgia Tech as well. So
3 ball. Knocked it back. Taylor Mills.
So he puts Buford up by 7. I'm interested to see who for Hillcrest is going to help share the scoring load with Tyler Hooker. That foul going to go against Mills. Just the second team foul. So Hooker to inbound it for Hillcrest. Play right there as Hooker shows you. Don't let the airport test fool you. I've got springs as he takes that one in. I think the crowd really didn't expect that so much that you didn't hear anybody say a word after he dunked it. You didn't hear an ooh or an ah. You kind of
like, whoa, wait a minute.
Did that just happen?
The young kid has springs.
I assure you, we've got some good video tricks here at the SUV TV, but that you just saw was 100% live. As Hooker makes it a 7-12 ball game with that above the rim play. We'll see if Hillcrest can feed off of that. Hooker directing traffic. The Rams of Hillcrest trail by 5. He's going to try a 3-pointer here.
Yeah.
I'm here to play.
Hooker's ready. He is ready. It's 8 points on the night for the young kid.
You know, like I mentioned, he's here representing Hillcrest today, but he was a member of an SC Raptors elite team coached by Coach McKee there in South Carolina that didn't have a liability out there. As we're seeing Trey Hansborough tickle the twine from outside there. We know what he can do also, so I think the Hooker versus Hansborough, not directly necessarily, but just what they do as far as scoring for their team. That's going to be a fun dynamic to watch as this game continues.
I would love to see them match up on defense. You know, both of them just match up together. I'd love to see that matchup. I don't think we'll do it, you know, but we can always dream.
I think it'll be one of those matchups that we might see take place later in the game. Yeah. I think if I'm either coach, I'm not putting my guy on him right now because I don't want him to get into foul trouble. And both of them, while helping spearhead their team's offensive efforts, they're not doing anything out of control right now to where you got to switch that defensive assignment. But Hooker's looking to change that.
Going for the 4-point play.
Tyler Hooker having a very good game so far.
Well, starts at number 20, Gibson. His first personal team 3-point shot is good.
As he hits his third 3-pointer of the game. And pulls Hillcrest to within 1 with the 3-point play the hard way there. A little bit of pressure being applied now. And this is something that bothered Buford versus Alpharetta yesterday, a game where they were in control. Keaton Gibson.
Strong move by the big man.
Guy that doesn't do too much, he hustles, but as he showed there on that play, can finish when given the opportunity to do so also. 3-point advantage for Buford. Ball's lost. Here's Hansborough the other way, going left to right, right to left against Hooker.
Oh.
And he'll be fouled.
Looked like he got bailed out on that one.
Hansborough not happy with himself. He's a player to where, before Coach Whitehart can get on him for something, he's usually getting on himself for that exact same thing. Had a couple free throws late in the game against Alpharetta yesterday that he missed. Buford came away with the win, but you could tell Hansborough not happy with himself. Even those that get millions of dollars to play miss free throws at times. So, while you want to continue to make sure you hit them at a high clip, at the end of the day, nothing you can do about it now except come out and compete like he's doing today.
Exactly. I think he might have got a Gwinnett County discount on that call right there. Still a little bit. Oop, knocks down it.
I work with a lot of these officials or broadcast their games per se, so I just want to let you guys know you're reviewing this film. That was a comment made by my color commentator and not myself. Sorry to throw you under the bus, Sly, but the views expressed by Sylvester Williams are not necessarily those by the SUV. But I'll tell you what, Tyler Hooker continuing to put on an impressive display as he gets that one to go along the baseline.
You know, I wonder if Keaton Gibson plays any football. He has the frame for it.
I tell you what, if I'm the coach at Buford, I'm dropping a little bug in his ear each week until we get to the point to where we cannot add players. I'm dropping a little bug in his ear to see if I can get him out there on the gridiron as he finishes again inside.
One thing I like, his left side of the rim and use his left hand. A good crossover move right there.
Six seconds left in this quarter. No good on the first attempt. Hillcrest working hard to get a second. It'll be good if it goes. Oh. Too strong on that shot. Tyler Hooker, one of his rare misses. As we look back at some of what he was able to do there in the first half, everybody saw he was a shooter from the first play, but did you also know I get up as well? The two-hand flush above the rim. Hillcrest, they trail Buford by 4 here at the end of the first quarter at the Jared Cook Classic. I'm Marcus Burnett, he's Sylvester Williams, and we'll be back after this quarter break. And welcome back. Glad to be out of the quarter timeout for you. Set to start the second quarter shortly. It's a 4-point advantage for Buford, who's led for most of this game. It was Hillcrest that struck first off of a Tyler Hooker three-pointer, and since then it's been some back and forth. But we've seen some standout play here early on from Hooker, number 11 for Hillcrest. They're in the crisp red jerseys. There's a three-pointer on the way from the southpaw. Cowwild, he's just short. Hansborough looking to push. Lost control of that pass a little bit, intended for number 11, Brandon Iverson. So that'll send it back over to Hillcrest. Their comeback win against Walton to open up the Jared Cook Classic. Coach Whitehart talked about how he was really impressed with it. Outside of Hansborough, how his guys were able to answer the bell and do what it took to get the win. Talked about guys like Lamont Smith, the freshman, who has yet to check in just yet, but also players like number 11, Iverson, who we mentioned, and as well as number 1, Will Springer, who's a junior but listed at 6'6". Plenty of length, can also shoot it well. So Coach was impressed with some of his pieces that are stepping into some new roles this year. And able to do that with some wins as they learn along the way. Springer off the mark on that shot. Don't see him miss too many wide open ones. Now he's got to guard Hooker. Hooker gets it into the big fella.
3 seconds on. Got to hurry up and get it out of there, young man.
Good call for 3 in the key as you see Hooker. Give him an attaboy and say, keep at it, big fella. When you guys running the floor hustling, Hooker's rewarded him with the ball inside as well. Not to mention he's got a couple blocks here early on. Nice pass. Here's Hansborough. Cash.
Hey, bud. Come on down to the X. Come on down. Thank you.
So Trey Hansborough pushes it back to a 7-point advantage for Buford. I think we're only going to see he and Booker bring the best out of each other as this game goes on. And they are guarding each other right now.
Oh, yeah. That's the matchup we paid to see.
Wide open three-pointer coming. It's off the mark. Nice rebound.
Oh, big man, you got to finish those. And he's looking at his hands like his hands were the fault. Oh,
the spin move, razzle-dazzle off the window. No good. Another rebound for Tatum. Hooker weaving through traffic. He's going to be clotheslined in the process, so that's going to send him to the free throw line.
Hooker's fearless going through that lane, man. He's a fearless. He's a tough kid. And, you know, they got him listed at 6 foot now. If he's 6 foot, I'm 6'2". But you know, he's probably 5'10", maybe 5'11" on his best day. But he is a fearless guy, a dead-eye shooter. You know, I mean, if I had 3 of those, man, I'll go and take over. I'll come out of retirement. I had 3 kids like him on my team.
And I know I keep mentioning it, but that SC Raptors elite team, they weren't the largest team. You know, their tallest guy, I want to say, was maybe 6'4", and that was the book listing, as we know, which can fudge a couple inches a bit. But they had a lot of players similar to a Hooker, and, you know, mentioned Jawan Evans, who, you know, a similar mold as far as, you know, small but can take a lot of contact quick. And, you know, if you don't know where he's at, he's probably scored the ball already and is on the way back down to the other side. So Hooker definitely following up on what we saw from the SC Raptors there during that summer-spring season. So I want to thank some of our sponsors. Nice pass, made this even possible as we see that quick replay of the Trey Hansborough three-pointer there. Well, I want to thank some of our sponsors here for the Jared Cook Classic. Crossover. Coaches are always looking for elements to help gain an advantage. Crossover can save you a lot of time in doing so by breaking down your game film for you. GwinnettDailyPost.com. They have a pulse on all things Gwinnett, so be sure to check that out. Specifically, their Prep Sports arm, Gwinnett Prep Sports. CBA Sports, the sports construction specialist of the SUV, as we are back from timeout and ready to resume play. It's a 6-point advantage here for Buford. Hansborough loses the handle, trying to save it, but he saves it right to the Rams. Hooker specifically got the defense in the air and then drops it off nicely. Darius White does the rest.
And, you know, when you're playing with a player as dynamic as Hooker is and as good as Hooker, sometimes it just pays just to be in the right spot. And Hooker gets you the ball where you need to have it.
So more than just a scorer, we're seeing him get his teammates involved also, which is good because, you know, even if you're hot and you're keeping your team in the game, if nobody else is getting involved and you're not flowing, then what happens when the water runs dry as far as you're concerned? You know, Hooker's doing a good job of making sure his teammates are involved as they stay within striking distance of Buford and fight here in the second quarter. Nice work by number 34 there.
Karen Galloway, 6'8" junior. Didn't see who got that one right there.
Coach Whitehart was talking about Galloway and how the pedigree's there. You know, 2 parents that have played professional basketball overseas.
Okay.
So when you look at a player with that pedigree and that kind of length, it's going to definitely be an asset for Coach Whitehart and the Buford Wolves, the 6'8" junior. Going to have a foul. It's going to go against Jaquan Holmes of Hillcrest.
Jaquan has given up a couple of inches down there to Galloway, but he has the weight. Galloway has the length.
Yeah.
That's a great high school matchup.
Substitution for Hillcrest, number 13, Jake Walton. Iverson with it up top. Loses his footing. Gets it up before he gets called for the travel. It's no good. Here come the Rams the other way. Nice hustle to get back by Iverson. Nearly steals it away. Hansborough has a footstep out of bounds, so back over to Hillcrest. 4 minutes on the dot.
But you know what was impressive about that? The kid turned it over, but he didn't quit on the play. He kept going full speed, and got down there and forced it and got a steal on his own. You know, you gotta love hustle. It's a lot of stuff you can teach, but hustle is one of the things you can't really teach, man. You gotta have it.
Most definitely, and if play happens, you lose your footing or miss a shot or whatever the case may be. Not getting back on defense could be the best thing you could do to see somebody headed to that X right in front of the scores table if you don't get back on the play. Nice block there by Galloway. Checking in for Buford, number 4, Devin Neal, 6-foot senior. Having a seat is going to be number 13, Lamont Smith. They go up top. Jake Walton tries to slam that one home. Just lost the handle.
Walton was up there too, man, and then he had a man in front of him too. He was up there.
Jalen Tatum checks back into the game for Holmes. I think Coach Choplin has done a good job with his substitutions.
Wow, that kid gets up there, man.
It's nice to see it, Sly. We can't do it, but it's always nice to watch it as you just see him just rise with ease.
Speak for yourself, Marcus. Been back in the gym. I walked by a couple of them a couple of times. I walked by them. They don't let me come in anymore because they heard the legend. So I've retired. I don't go back in there anymore, but back in the day.
Quit while you're ahead, huh?
I quit while I was ahead, It's funny, I can't find any of that videotape from back in the day, though. But you got to believe me, though. I wouldn't lie to you.
Funny how the archives can just disappear when convenient. Hooker at the free throw line made a nice move to get to the third level and was fouled. Misses the first free throw.
Hooker's had some struggles on the line. He's right now he's 2 for 4.
Yeah, he's got to convert those just because free throws. You want him to be free and take advantage of them, but also he's not gonna have too many instances where he goes to the rack and doesn't meet some contact. As that pass sails over the head of Iverson, but back to the point with Hooker, they're going to give him contact each and every time he comes in there. So, make sure they're not just getting free licks on you. You got to go to the free throw line and knock down those free throws. Make sure you get what you came for. Good look at three-pointer. Too strong. Gonna have a foul here. Foul gonna go against Hansborough. First personal foul for Hansborough. Both teams with 16 fouls. 3 minutes, 7 seconds left to play here in the second quarter.
Hansborough started out that first quarter. He had 12 points, and he only has 3 so far in this second quarter. He's kind of quieted down a lot.
Active hands there by Iverson. Really like this hustle on defense. Kicking it into another gear. Easy layup there.
As soon as I said something.
Trey Hansborough.
Oh!
Give me that, playing volleyball there is Galloway. Sticking with it. Getting it to go there, that was Cowwild. Here's Mills going right at the big fella. Big fella had his hand straight up. I thought he stayed vertical as well. But the official's going to call it a foul, so that's going to send Taylor Mills to the free throw line. That foul going against.
We have a full timeout on the floor called by Buford.
Going to have a full timeout. (24-27). Timeout. We'll take one with them when we get back. We'll bring you more here from the Jared Cook Classic. By Iverson. We like this hustle on defense. Kicking it into another gear. Easy layup there.
As soon as I said something.
And we are back from the timeout. As you see Coach Whitehart touching base with Trey Hansborough. We'll talk about the personnel that he has this year and how he's looking for Hansborough to become more of a vocal leader as the season goes on. We've been able to see him become more of that just in the 3-day span where we've had the Jared Cook Classic. So it'll be fun to watch him develop into that role for this Buford squad as the season goes on. Taylor Mills knocks down the first free throw. Second one on the way. It's good to go also. So a 5-point advantage for Buford. Putting it on the deck. Fouled on the shot attempt. Kyle Wild.
I like Galloway. Galloway's really aggressive on the defensive end. You know, even though the foul was on the floor or whatever before it got to Galloway, but everything that comes in that lane, Galloway's swatting at it. He's trying to get it. He realizes, hey, I'm 6'8". I can get some of this stuff out of here, and I like that.
For those just joining us, Galloway is number 34 there in the white jerseys for Buford. He might be a little hard to spot. He's the 6'8 guy. Down there at the bottom block of the free throw area. You know, Coach Whitehart has some length to work with. You look at it. Galloway, 6'8", but then he's also got a sophomore, Sahil Patel. Patel actually got the rebound and the game-winning layup against Alpharetta yesterday. So he's got some guys that have some height. Like we were talking about, you can't teach that aspect. So it's nice to be able to use it when you have it at your disposal as a coach.
Oh, good pass. Good finish.
That's Darius White. Makes it 27-29. Buford still leads. Neal with it. Now over to Hansborough. White going to pick up the block there. Was really at a disadvantage. Nice footwork, there by Hansborough, aggressive on the catch. He already had a step on White, so White committing the foul. Both teams in the penalty, so we'll shoot a minimum of 1-1 for the final 1 minute 45 seconds of this first half. And that rim has been tough on guys this entire day as that one rolls around but won't stay down. So Austin Kyle Wild will bring it back out. Nice backdoor cut by Booker. Again, it's your guy Galloway in there to change that shot. Didn't block it, but he switched it up.
And that's the great thing about being a shot blocker. You don't always have to block. Ooh, knock it down. You don't always have to block every shot. It's just the ones that you alter are just as important as the ones that you block.
We see Hansborough with another three-pointer. Hooker, nice savvy right there. Great savvy right there by Tyler Hooker. He realized he had Neal in a certain position, so I think now the officials are touching base to see whether they rule that on the shot, on the floor.
Give that kid an Oscar. But that's a savvy veteran move right there. That's exactly what that is. That's a savvy veteran move.
And then it's one of those moves that probably won't work as well if you're not as effective as Booker has been, as Hooker has been on the offensive end. I had teammates in high school. If they would have done that same move, they might have gotten that call. If I would have done it, probably would have been a layup on the other end with the no call and them quickly turning that into transition. So Kyle Wild going to try the three-pointer off the mark. Ball tipped right to Booker. He goes right inside, meets Gibson. Neal pulls it out of there, and he's going to be fouled before he can get rid of it. And Coach Whitehart he doesn't even want that call. He's got a wide open flush for Trey Hansborough. He'll take it, but if he had the option of turning it down, I'm sure Coach would say, hey, ref, just keep that in your pocket.
Let's save that one for later, ref.
4-point advantage as we hear Coach Choplin talking with official Lewis about the nice weather they've had in Atlanta here. Galloway with the offensive rebound and the conversion.
One shot. Oh, good defense out there.
Stolen by Hansborough. He's going to go.
No.
Jumped too high for his own good on that one.
That was a good hustle defense right there. Darius White not to give up on the play and just to stop the easy layup.
So that's going to send us into halftime. Hansborough missed that last shot, but he hasn't missed a whole lot here in the first half. As we see him catch that hand in face, doesn't matter. Drano, Trey Hansborough, ladies and gentlemen. That is going to do it here for the first half. We appreciate you joining us here. When we get back, we'll bring you the second half. The Wolves go in at halftime, leading by 6.
Again, a reminder that all games are being broadcast live on SUP. You can also go to hoopsy.com for coverage reports and updates of each of the games.
Crossover intelligence for basketball can save you hours of time. We break down and stat your game film for you and act as your video coordinator by giving you searchable clips, advanced statistics, shot charts, and a lot of other great info that you can access from any PC or through our iPad application. Just upload your video through the Crossover website, and 24 hours later, your film will be completely indexed and tagged. Each play will become its own video clip, allowing you to search the footage for anything you'd like. Here we'll take a look at all 3-pointers that were made in the fourth quarter. All of your offensive and defensive sets can also be tagged, so you can view the appropriate clips and determine which plays are achieving the best results. You can add any clip to a playlist or highlight reel and share everything with your players or assistant coaches. Crossover will also provide you with all of the numbers from each game, including complete player stats for both teams and advanced metrics like these. We even take the shooting numbers a step further with an interactive shot chart that lets you visualize the data. Filter by player, quarter, makes or misses, and click on any shot to watch the corresponding video. Crossover intelligence will keep you from spending hours in the film room and get you back to actually coaching. Together, we can turn smarter video into more wins for your team. That's the crossover effect. Crossover intelligence for basketball can save you hours.
And welcome back here to halftime at the Jared Cook Classic. I'm Marcus Burnett. I'm actually joined by Devin Johnson. Devin is a member of our team SUV here, covers a lot of our tournaments from the video perspective. Devin, man, I would love to get your thoughts on this first half between Buford and Hillcrest.
First half, high tempo, man. Yeah. It's very high tempo. The last two games were kind of slow, but this game right here is very high tempo. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. Your thoughts on Trey Hansborough for Buford? I know opening night he had a good night and seems to be rolling from there. Your thoughts on his play here in the tournament?
Trey Hansborough, he's got the fluorescent green light. Every shot he's got, he is hitting. He's got like 18 points. Yeah. He's man, he is rolling out. I love watching him play.
Now he was not a new face for us here at this event, but Tyler Hooker for Hillcrest was. Your thoughts on how he started the game?
Tyler Hooker is very aggressive, actually. He's got like 10 points. He's killing Buford on the transition. It's very nice. I like Tyler Hooker a lot.
Now, for all of the games and events you've covered, whether it be in Isaiah Wilkins at GAC or in Tariq Gilbert at Miller Grove, Jalen Brown at Wheeler, who are some of the players and or teams that have kind of stuck out to you so far here in this tournament?
Buford, Hillcrest, and then the Stars. They were really technical. They almost had that one. They let that one slip away. I was upset that they let that one go.
And the Stars we're referring to are the Stars of Siegel, who played here representing Nashville, Tennessee. Your thoughts on Pebblebrook? We got to mention Pebblebrook. Ty Hudson, and little Jared Harper with that run. I believe it was a 22-2 run to open the game up.
Yeah. crazy game.
So we appreciate you joining us here, Devin. As always, the man with the plan. He's the guy responsible for bringing you a lot of the images you see here on SUV TV. Just wanted to get his take. So we're going to sign off. We got about 1:30 left until halftime's over, and we'll see you back here for the second half.
Make sure y'all stomp on that like button for SUT Vehicle on Twitter.
The Jared Cook Classic. We appreciate you joining us here as we're ready to resume play as we get the second half started. It's a 6-point advantage for Buford. And Sylvester Williams is joining me here on the mic slide. Give us your best rundown for those that, they just turned on the screen at halftime. For those that missed the first half, give them your best nutshell summary of why we're at 34-28 as we start the second half.
Because two superb athletic players by the name, one of them is Trey Hansborough and the other one is Tyler Hooker. These are two guys who can put the ball in the basket, and that's what they've been doing it. And they've given it to you. They went to the line. They shot from behind the arc, and they took it inside the lane. That's basically what this game comes down to. Push off right there. But yeah, that's what it comes down to. Just supreme athletic play by two budding young superstars who managed to light up the nets tonight so far. In the first half, Taylor finished the first half with 15 points, and Tyler. I said Taylor. Taylor finished the first half with 15 points, and he was just there. He did it, boom, just like that. From long range. That's his fourth three-pointer of the game. He's giving it to you however you wanted it, Marcus.
And I'm really enjoying this matchup. Haven't seen a whole lot of Hillcrest prior to this event, but I've been able to watch them for the past 2 years here at this Jared Cook Classic. And it's been fun to watch as we're going to see Hooker and Hansborough matched up a lot more here in this second half. The hesitation. No good on the shot, but working inside is Tatum. He's going to earn a trip to the free throw line.
And also in the first half, Trey Hansborough ended up with 19 points for Trey Hansborough. And Trey Hansborough also had 4 three-pointers. So these guys are just giving it to you however you like it. And that's what I love about these young players, man. They can score a variety of different ways. Jalen Tatum knocks down his first basket, his first point of the night with the free throw. And the big man has the nice touch. He'll knock down the second free throw. You love a big man who can hit the free throws, because hey, with a game like this, you want to pound. Sometimes you pound it up to the inside, and all they can do is foul you. And if you got a big man who can hit those free throws, that makes life a whole lot easier. Oh, 5-second call. 5-second call. Hansborough dribbled out around the perimeter a little bit too long, and Hooker locked him down on defense and forced that 5-second call.
So Hooker, who had a rare 5-second violation forced against him by Brandon Iverson. Actually, it was forced by Neal Buford in the first half, goes and gets one of his own there. He's been a rebounding machine there on the inside, has Tatum for Hillcrest. As the ball poked away there, and Taylor Mills is going to have a layup drill at the other end, but the pass goes a little wide. Took him a lot to get to it.
Nice soft lay-in right there, Darius White.
Talk about a turnaround right there. You had what looked like it could end up being easy 2 points for Taylor Mills of Buford, but what it ends up being is a dime and an assist. That's finished by number 25, Darius White. I want to recognize some of our sponsors here at the Jared Cook Classic. Crossover, Gwinnett Daily Post, specifically GwinnettPrepSports.com, where you can also see on-demand archives from the Jared Cook Classic action this year. CBA Sports, our official sports construction specialist. Anybody in the Atlanta area, they created the courts that you see at McCamish Pavilion at Georgia Tech, as well as the Phillips Arena. And last but not least, CoachHemi.com, a resource for coaches where they go to get their X's and O's. So it's a 35-34 ball game.
Ooh.
It's a 1 point advantage for Hillcrest as they have their first advantage of the game since they led 3-0 after a Tyler Hooker 3 to open it up. It's going to send number 13, Lamont Smith, to the free throw line. It's been a quiet game for Smith, the freshman. But as I mentioned in the first half, he's a player that Coach Whitehart has high hopes for here this season, and he really liked him in that opening game versus Walton.
No good on both free throws. There's the big man who hit the game winner. He's in the game for the first time tonight.
That is none other than number 32, Sahil Patel. The game winner we're referring to is the one versus Alpharetta just before the buzzer sounded yesterday. Hansborough has that one blocked. They're going to get it ahead to Hooker. Hooker going to take flight.
Oh, beautiful.
Going to go ahead and do the layup here. But those of you that are saying, of course, he was going to do a layup. You might look at his stature and assume a layup was coming, but he had a nice jam along the baseline with two hands there in the first half. So Hooker definitely with some springs.
Foul starts with number 3, Shaw, his first.
The foul going to be called against number 3,
Foul starts with number 11,
Randall Shaw. They charged it to Shaw initially, but it was Hooker actually called for the foul. So they got it right there.
Hooker has to be careful. I'm not quite sure how many fouls that is on him, but I do remember them calling, I think, 2 earlier, so that might be his number 3 foul. I'm not sure. Might be his 3rd foul.
Here's Hooker the other way. He's going to get it ahead. Shaw will finish from there. Talked about SC Raptors elite and Hooker and what he was able to do for the spring-summer season. Randall Shaw, a member of the Upward Stars program, one of the more prominent programs, not just in South Carolina, but you mentioned P.J. Dozier, who was actually going to stay home and play his college ball at the University of South Carolina out of Spring Valley High School. He was also a member of the Upward Stars. They do a great job with their kids there in that program.
Yeah, those AAU programs, man, they're something special, man. To see all that talent in one place when you go up to the Swanee Sports Academies during the summer and the different places where they have all these AAU tournaments, man. It's amazing to see all these star athletes, these future D1 college prospects all in one place showcasing their skills. It's a great thing. It is a great thing.
Most definitely. Neal to inbound it, gets it to Mills. Mills leaves that one short. Nice pass ahead by Shaw. Here's Hooker trying to finish against Hansborough. Coach Whiteheart says, hey, my guy went straight up. Hansborough felt the same way, but I think with Hansborough leaving its feet, it's a little bit different.
Yes. You know, one thing about these early season tournaments, you don't have the crowd hadn't filled out all the way, so you can hear everything the coach is saying on the sideline. He's letting the referee know.
Yeah, that was the SUV version of the mic'd up that we often see on some of the larger broadcasts. You know, coach arguing the case that, you know, Hansborough had his arm straight up there on that one. Official saw it otherwise, so after that trip to the free throw line, it's now 34-41. It's a 7-point advantage for Hillcrest, who trailed for most of the first half. Here, second half, it's been all them. Nice ball movement.
No, he didn't.
And Randall Shaw says, yes, sir, I did.
He just brought shame to his whole family, dunking on that young man like that. I didn't see that one coming, Marcus.
I didn't see that one coming either. I know Shaw had some springs. But you saw a good contest there by Buford, but he was able to finish. Nice job of coming right back there.
My goodness.
By Taylor Mills. Hooker's going to get it over to Darius White. Shaw. That three has to fall. With the way that guy just dunked that play, the momentum's in his favor. That three's got to fall.
And you can't even be mad at the kid for shooting that three. Oh, my goodness.
We've got a substitution. We'll take a chance to look at that instant replay of Randall Shaw. You know, he's got a full head of steam. And nice bounce pass. He didn't have to wait for it at all. He goes up. Leaves the defender at the 8th floor while he goes up to the 10th. Randall Shaw, ladies and gentlemen, they're on the CoachHemi.com instant replay cams. We're back to the live action. That three-pointer missed by Lamont Smith from the corner.
And you know, it's the athleticism that I just love out of that play. You know, there's a lot of people who can jump, but he caught that ball in stride and managed to go up the same time he caught the ball. And it was just beautiful. It was a thing of beauty. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. My man Keith said that.
Most definitely, I was paying attention there because it looked like Buford had gotten away with the backcourt violation there as Iverson had tipped that ball over across the timeline. But I guess all's well that ends well for Hillcrest as they'll still have possession regardless here. So it's a 6-point advantage now for the visiting Rams of Hillcrest. Not a home game for Buford, but they are in the home whites, home on the scoreboard, and them being Gwinnett County based.
Oh, good ball handling.
Closer to home than Hillcrest is. Shaw trying to get it going. Southpaw Silky from the corner.
Shaw's heating up.
Hansborough, the back tap by Hooker.
I want to
get it ahead to him. He's going to go ahead, take the easy two, and lay it up.
You know, the selfish part of me wanted to see him just throw it off the backboard to Shaw. Shaw was trailing.
I was thinking the same thing, and that's the spectator/entertainment value on our end. But he goes ahead and takes the basic two. It's 2 points nonetheless. We're going to take a short break. 2 minutes, 5 seconds left to play here in the third quarter. When we get back, we'll bring you more Hillcrest rolling here at the Jared Cook Classic. And we are back from the timeout. 2 minutes, 5 seconds left to play here in the third quarter. A little bit of pressure being applied here by Hillcrest. Mills, nice finish there over the outstretched arm of Jake Walton. I'll make it 39-48. Shaw has really come on the past couple minutes. And again, I think with all of the guys that, the Hansboroughs, the hookers, the hot hands, you got to give a certain degree of credit to the guys that let them do what they do. Yes. Randall Shaw, look at the ability he's shown us over the past couple minutes. Nothing new with us seeing him play, but we got a cow wow with the bucket there. But he could have been doing that in the first quarter instead of pressing the issue. He stayed within the offense and picked his time to kind of pick his spot and attack from there.
Exactly. And that's just well coached. That's just great coaching. And it's no other way to describe it. This is just great coaching.
Hansborough trying to get the three-point stroke going here in the second half. That one's no good.
Good jump ball. Way to tie up the big man.
Shaw ties the big man up. So an 11-point advantage for Hillcrest. 55.3 seconds left to play here in the third quarter. Nice
Good
cut
feed.
and the finish. Assist by Neal, finish by Gibson. Galloway's all over that one, but he tips it right to Braylon Beagle. Beagle off the mark. Ball going to stay with Hillcrest. Official says, I've waited long enough, drops it on the ground. They throw it up top.
I want to see that young man catch it.
Yeah.
I want to see Walton catch one because we see how explosive Shaw is, but I think Walton gets up a little bit higher than Shaw. That's the second time they tried to run that out of bounds play, and I want to see him catch it.
Neal with it up top.
Good 2-3 zone right there.
Couple seconds to work with. Gibson going to put it on the deck.
Oh!
Nice finish there.
I thought Gibson was going to throw that down. He was up there.
I thought so as well. I thought he was going to answer the bell and try to match what Randall Shaw was able to do. But those of you that might have missed that dunk by Shaw, we're going to go ahead and use that replay to go ahead and end the third quarter. As Randall Shaw.
Just look how he catches it on the move.
Neal, appreciate the heart. But Randall Shaw finishing there. That is going to do it for the third quarter here on SUV TV. We appreciate you watching the Jared Cook Classic. When we get back, we'll bring you the final quarter of this one between Buford and Hillcrest. And welcome back here as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. And we replayed the highlight of Randall Shaw doing that dunk, but got to include the caveat of, Neal playing good defense there. It's much easier to do what we do when we see a guy get dunked on as far as retweeting it and helping turn a video viral. But you got to give credit to the guys that are there playing defense, doing what they're supposed to do, not focus on getting dunked on or focus on whatever, just really playing defense and playing the game the way it's supposed to be played.
Exactly. I heard a great quote by Alonzo Mourning. Alonzo Mourning was like, he was talking about how he plays defense, and they were talking about how people dunked on him all the time. He says, but in order for me to get dunked on, I had to be there playing defense.
Yeah.
And you have to be out there and you have to do it. And so, and that's what a lot of kids don't understand. They see the highlight, and I'm guilty of it too. I'm guilty of overhyping the dunk when someone dunks on them because it looks good. It does look good. But every time you get someone who dunks on you, you do have that nasty block also. That nasty block is there.
I think Jerry Stackhouse put it well. I'm sure we'll probably see him here along the sidelines as his son, Jay Stackhouse, and North Gwinnett take on Whitfield Academy at 8:30. But, he made a speech at an all-star high school event a couple weeks back, and he told the players there looking to play at the next level that, man, when it comes to playing basketball and doing what you need to do for your team, lose all of that cool.
Yes.
Lose the cool. He said, don't be the guy that's, the team is in one spot and you're the guy dragging behind, looking too cool, being cool breeze, when at the end of the day it's all about, doing whatever it takes to accomplish those team objectives and do your best out there. It's not a focus on being cool. And I think that's some of the underlying sentiment when it comes to, a guy getting dunked on or whatever the case may be. Hey, that guy's busting his tail playing defense, doing what he's supposed to do.
Exactly.
So 43-52, a 9-point advantage for Hillcrest. Mills, good on the first free throw. That was the 17th foul for Hillcrest. Buford only has 14 fouls, so if you're Buford, the momentum has been in favor of Hillcrest the past few minutes or so. Maybe you can use that free throw line to help equalize things over the past couple minutes.
And an important element has been missing from this second half, and that element is Trey Hansborough. He's gone scoreless this second half. And that would explain why Hillcrest has a 7-point lead now.
Yeah, they need his scoring. As now we're going to see Hillcrest. You talked about Hillcrest being a well-coached team. While I don't think cookies. Again, there's that same guy getting a steal there. Unfortunately for Buford, they're unable to come away with it. But that's not for any shortage of hustle by Neal. There we see number 25 working hard. That's Darius White.
Darius has 11 on the night. He gets his whole name in the paper. I don't know how it is back in Indiana, but back home in South Carolina, when you score double, when they do the box score for the games the next day in the state newspaper, what they'll put your last name in the paper beside the amount of points you scored if you're under 10. But once you get over 10, you get your first and your last name. So when you get your full name in the paper, that's a big thing.
Gotcha. So you can check that box off if you're Darius White. White, another one of those guys like Gibson for Buford. Never stops moving, creates a lot of extra opportunities for his team, and finishes when you ask him to do so. But Buford comes right back with the deuce. That'll make it 47-55. Gibson going to get called for a foul. Coach Whitehart doesn't appreciate it. That's going to be the 5th personal foul on Gibson. That's a crucial loss there for Buford, as Gibson does so much that might not show up in the box score or make some of those highlight reels that we talked about, but are equally, if not more important, when it comes to winning a game. So Coach Whitehart will be without his services for the rest of the game. Randall Shaw off the mark on that three-pointer. Save attempt there by Darius White goes out of bounds, so it'll be Buford's ball. 6 minutes, 7 seconds left to play here in the fourth quarter.
Gibson will finish with 8 points for the night. Bunch of rebounds.
And beyond what you see in his rebounds and points, he's got some trees in there to contend with. While he's had help from a Kyron Galloway and a Patel, you talked about some guys, they do it with height, some guys do it with girth and their size. Gibson, one of those guys that his physical presence really help and kind of mitigate those trees inside for Hillcrest.
30 seconds on the floor.
As it's been all Hillcrest here in the second half, but Buford still within 6. Kind of really we've seen roles reverse. You saw, a cat and mouse game in the first half with Hillcrest able to stay within 6 or 7, but not really able to close that gap. And it's been the same thing, tables turned with Buford here in the second half.
Yeah, and I think one of the great underlooked things when it comes to coaching is that halftime adjustment. When the coach goes in at halftime and he realizes, okay, my team is down by X and Y. What are we doing wrong? What do we need to change? What do we need to adjust to make everything a little bit better and make everything work out for us?
(49-55) as we resume play from the timeout.
Great full court defense right there by Buford coming out of the timeout to force Hillcrest to call another timeout.
Full timeout on the floor called by Hillcrest.
That's going to be a full timeout. We'll take it with them. When we get back, we'll bring you more here on SUV TV of the Jared Cook Classic. We're ready to come back from the timeout. Again, I want to take some time to thank some of our sponsors. Crossover. Coaches, let them study game film for you, save you time and effort in the process. And Gwinnett Daily Post, your source for all things Gwinnett. Be sure to check them out at GwinnettDailyPost.com. Hooker with the strong move and the touch to get it to stay down. That rim's been tough as far as having shots roll in and out. Nice touch there by Booker to get it to stay down.
Oh.
He makes it 49-57. That ball stuck. I know we don't have the footage slide, but since you talked about those hops you've been working on, I was going to tell the referee you volunteered to go up there and knock that ball loose.
Hey, I would have went and got it.
Now, would you have got the ladder out of Coach Zach Smith's office here at North Gwinnett first before you got it?
Well, I would have grabbed it with my left hand and switched to my right hand and dunked it in. Oh!
Volleyball time there for Darius White as he gets the kill there on that shot. That one's off the glass, 49-57 ball game. And I think Buford, when you look at the Hansborough and some of the other pieces they got.
Way to reward the big man right there. After the good block, they reward him with the layup down on the other end.
When we look at Hansborough and these pieces for Buford, they have one more run in them. I think the question is going to be, is it going to be too late time-wise and deficit-wise for that run to have the impact that they want? But I think we're going to see one more last-ditch effort from Hansborough here in this one. They're going to have a sense of urgency. It's go time because Hillcrest, they've got enough speed out there to just do what they're doing. Spread you out, run time off the clock, and when they decide it's go time, make a move and either get a bucket or a trip to the foul line.
All right, now we're going to start to see a lot of kids go to the free throw line, and now we're going to see if practice pays off. Right now, Tyler Hooker has 24 points, and let's see if he can get to that 30 mark by just hitting free throws. Darius White starts off right.
As the game has went on, I think we've seen Hillcrest do a better job with their free throws, and we've seen especially the guys like your Darius White and your Jalen Tatum who, are just taking the feeds that Hooker and Shaw are able to provide them with, getting fouled, and instead of the defense being able to say, hey, we fouled the big man, we know at best he'll hit one of two, possibly miss them both, they're going to the line and knocking them down, which makes a difference.
White has 16 on the night. Oh, there you go. Move that pivot foot. He moved that back foot. Try to get an early start. Got to put the ball on the ground first. And, you know, this has been a pretty closely contested match all game, and it just seems like Hillcrest is a good spin move. He lost it.
Hooker continuing to show that handle. Just over 4 minutes left to play. Buford down by 12.
Three ball.
Big one there in the corner.
Brandon Iverson knocks it down.
Iverson, a junior. Make no mistake, you know, this Buford team, they can string a couple threes together. Nice defense by Iverson. He's been solid defensively all game, but, you know, Buford, a come-from-behind win against Walton, winning at the buzzer in their second game against Alpharetta. You know, I don't think they wanted any other way other than it kind of testing your heart valves a little bit if you're a Buford fan. We'll see if they got a good run in them to try to get this one.
24, the big man, Jalen Tatum knocks it down.
Tatum has other plans. 6'5", senior forward, pushes it back to a double-digit advantage. If you're Buford, you want to get a good look, but you don't really have a whole lot of time to get that look. The finish there by Mills.
Takes the contact and lays it in. Taylor Mills, pretty impressive game tonight also.
Yeah, he's had a good Jericho Classic, you know. Hansborough has had the gaudier numbers and has really helped lead on the offensive end. We can see the strength being shown there by Randall Shaw. Shaw makes it 54-65. There's Hansborough going to try the three. There we go.
Finally. It has been a cold second half for Hansborough.
Hansborough makes it an 8-point game. Drop off.
Good
nice block by Galloway. But unfortunately, right place, right time. Tyler Hooker picks up the pieces and pushes it back to a 10-point advantage.
Pick up the pieces. Watching Martin last night.
Hansborough hand all in face. That's got to be a 4-point play. Coach Whitehart's not happy about that foul not being called, and you can't blame him. There was contact made with the hands up top and the body to where Hansborough couldn't even come down. No 4-point play on.
I'm telling you, I was thinking about filing the police report on that one. Mugged him. Big sophomore.
Patel checks back in. Galloway has a seat. Got to be nice. Slide a substitute. 6'8" for 6'7".
Not a bad move. That was point number 30.
So Hooker gets the 30-piece nugget and then some.
That's 31.
You see Mills, he's going to go down fighting if they go down. See him split through the defense there, protect the ball like a running back. Taking the handoff, earns a trip to the free throw line.
You know, not a bad trip, down 85 for the Hillcrest team. Hillcrest Rams out of Simpsonville, right outside of Greenville.
It's never too bad traveling to South Carolina, man, to up 85. In my opinion, to me, it just always seems like a shorter trip, man, than going up 20.
You know, that's the wrong part of South Carolina. That's the wrong part of South Carolina. All the good people from Columbia know you don't want to go to the upstate. Nothing up there but Clemson. Nothing up there unless you want to be a farmer.
And I'm going to take the same approach I took when you gave a nice little barb to the officials in the first half. Those from upstate South Carolina, the views of my color commentator do not necessarily reflect the views of myself. So,
well, this time I think I may have some backing from Mr. Jared Cook, South Carolina, former Gamecock star. We are at his tournament. We are in his house. So I think he may agree.
Yeah, the namesake of the tournament, that's pretty good backing to have. We appreciate all of you that have either come out to or joined us for the webcast of the Jared Cook Classic, a great event for a great cause. All proceeds benefit Susan G. Komen for the Cure, an organization for the fight against breast cancer. And again, that's a cause that hits home firsthand for Jared, with his mother being a breast cancer survivor. So appreciate anybody and everybody for the role that you played in making this event a success and helping increase awareness. And give Buford credit, man. I mean, Hillcrest they haven't been turning the ball over. They haven't really helped Buford in any way, shape, or form. Buford has just done what it takes to try to stick in the game. They're down 6 with just over a minute left. So not an impossible comeback at all, and that's going to be a travel. Easy call for official Lewis.
The big man got it just a little bit outside his comfort zone. Just a little bit outside his comfort zone. Had to take that extra step. That's when you need to take that power dribble. Take that power dribble, going up with 2 hands and flush it down.
And you got to stick with us. You got to stay with us and join us for Whitfield Academy versus North Gwinnett, the next matchup. You'll be happy that you did. You've got Cameron Calhoun and the Bulldogs of North Gwinnett. Calhoun, a player that's always been known as one of those blue-collar guys. That's whatever it takes to get the win. Hustles, plays defense, can finish, but he's taking on a lot more of an offensive role as far as being aggressive on that end, scoring for North Gwinnett here this season. And so far, so good as far as that transition at the Jared Cook Classic thus far. On the Whitfield Academy side, you've got one of the toughest, most physical programs in the state of Georgia, as well as Courtney Alexander Jr., the high-flying athlete for the Wolfpack.
I don't know why that's on.
Okay, that's not being switched up there?
Get here a little bit of Outcast as we waited.
Little Andre 3000 track in the background had a blast at the Outcast concert.
Oh yeah,
in Centennial Park. For those of you ATLians and those from outside the area, had a lot of people just traveling wherever the closest Outcast destination was for that concert tour.
I was standing beside a guy at the concert. Him and his girlfriend flew in from California. They flew in from California because he told me, Sly, I have to be at the concert when they finally come back home. Knocks down it. Great show. Speaking of great shows, I got to see Stevie. Got to see Stevie Wonder on Saturday.
Nice. Music to Coach Choplin and Hillcrest ears would be to hold on to this lead. But it is a 4-point game with just over a minute left. And Coach Whitehart going to look to extend the game, send Hillcrest to the foul line to see if they can finish the mission there from the charity stripe, or if the Wolves can get a little help in the form of a couple missed free throws.
I told you, Marcus, if I had 5 minutes to live, it'll be the end of a basketball game. Austin.
No, go ahead, Sly.
I was going to say Austin knocked down that first free throw. That's just clutch, man. It's clutch. You need a guy right there with ice water running through his veins in situations like this. And let's see. Yes. He'll knock it down again.
So Buford trails by 6.
Speaking of ice water.
Hansborough knows what time it is. They've got to get buckets, and they've got to get them quickly. Does Buford, so trailing by 6, 58.6 seconds left to play. Trey Hansborough going to the free throw line. An unofficial all-tournament or all-classic team selection. That's unofficial. That's not an official designation. But just the analysis and some of the different perspectives we've gotten from Brandon Clay of Brandon Clay Scouting and Peach State Basketball, who will join us here on the webcast for the final game, the Tuesday night showcase game, as well as Jonathan Hemingway, owner of CoachHemi.com, who's done some commentary throughout this tournament as well. You mentioned guys like Trey Hansborough, Jared Harper of Pebblebrook. I'm not sure if you've seen Pebblebrook play yet, Sylvester, but they are a treat.
They are a treat. I haven't seen Pebblebrook play so far this season. I'm just getting over my football hangover, but I'm ready for basketball, and I want to thank you and the Sports Utility Vehicle for bringing a lot of basketball to the public this winter and this fall. A full slate of action if you check us out on the sportsutilityvehicle.com. Something exciting going on every weekend, most weekdays.
Yeah.
Full slate.
Yeah, check those sites. You can check out thesuvtv.com for a lot of our archives and live events. Also suvehicle.com, the official company page for the SUV. Some of the tournaments we have coming up on the 28th and the 29th, we've got 3 tournaments that we'll have live broadcasts from, 2 of which are in Atlanta, one being the Holiday Hoopsgiving event, which will be at Holy Innocents. Got some good teams in there, Madison Academy and Josh Langford, as well as Northside Christian, which features Ray John Tucker. Green Forest Academy is in that one as well. We'll also have the Hardwood Fest over at North Atlanta High School, which features Wesleyan Christian, Harry Giles, just to name some of the featured players and teams there. And then last but not least, we've got the Lighthouse Classic in Corinth, Mississippi, an event that's highlighted by a Saturday matchup of Miller Grove, 6-time state champion here in Georgia, versus Callaway and Malik Newman, one of the top players in the country.
And you forgot that North Atlanta event, the true highlight of the tournament for that event.
It's escaping my mind, so give me a refresher.
Sylvester Williams will be at that tournament.
Oh, how could I forget that?
The true highlight. The crowd will be there.
I saw the update on 11 Alive this morning and everything. I don't know how I could forget that.
Exactly.
As Hillcrest continues to do a good job from the free throw line, it's 68-73. Hansborough. Deep three-pointer.
Boom!
Count it.
From way downtown. He shot that one from Duluth.
I mentioned Buford is not ready to give this game up. A close game doesn't really faze them at all. Here in this Jared Cook Classic, as they've been able to figure out a way to hop back on Sewanee Dam Road with the victory.
Woo! It'll roll around and fall in.
Let me ask you a question, Sylvester. Are there more Waffle Houses in the Atlanta area or more Bojangles in South Carolina? Which one do you think?
It's a Waffle House on every corner. It's a Waffle House on every corner. But Bojangles, oh my goodness! It's straight.
Hansborough is not ready to let this game go away.
This is his 4th quarter stat line. 4 3-pointers, 6 free throws, with 1 more coming. That's his 4th quarter stat line right there. 17 points.
Coach Whitehart talked about him becoming more of a verbal leader, how he's done that, and that's a work in progress. But he also appreciates the leading by example. And I think he's led by example and then some here in crunch time in the 4th quarter. We've got 37.7 seconds left. And it is a 1-point ball game. Whew. Not for long. We're tied at 75-75. The Cardiac Kids of the tournament Buford have tied it up. We'll see if Hillcrest will hold for the last shot or take the first good one available.
Good block.
Blocked there by Patel.
Oh! He called time. What a great coaching move right there. Now that
But the question is going to be, was the ball turned over or was the timeout given first? Coach Whitehart wants his timeout given now. He doesn't even want to give official Lewis and his second official time to discuss it. And I am glad we can sit here and commentate while we wait on this decision versus having to make it.
Let's see what the refs say.
You're going to have one coach that is happy, one coach that is going to see red.
Timeout.
Timeout is going to go to Buford. Coach Choplin is not going to be happy. Buford is going to get the timeout. Coach Choplin's not happy, but he's got to take that time strategizing. It's 23.8 seconds left to play in this one, as we got to take a look at one of a cluster of big-time plays for Trey Hansborough here in this game. Here, stops, pops, gets the foul and the bucket. That's the front end of the 4-point play that has us tied at 75-75 there through the CoachHemi.com instant replay cam. 23.8 seconds left.
Trey Hansborough has had 17 points in 6 minutes. It was around 6 minutes and 20-something seconds on the clock when I said Trey Hansborough hadn't scored in the second half. And now he has 17 points. Trey Hansborough is, wow.
That was a Buffalo Wild Wings commercial kind of exchange to where it was almost like he had an earpiece that said, hey, Sylvester says, hey, you've been kind of quiet, Trey Hansborough. And he says, you know what, Si, I think you're right.
I think it's time to get started.
Don't believe me, just watch. And Trey Hansborough has delivered as promised here in this fourth quarter, but the delivery can't be signed for just yet. We've got a tie ball game, still has to be decided. He is an unsigned senior. It's Trey Hansborough. Coaches, be sure to check out this game, the previous two archives.
Oh, so it's going to be Hillcrest ball.
Did not know that was taking place. I thought that Buford had been awarded timeout and the ball before that turnover had occurred, but they gave Buford the timeout and Hillcrest in possession.
Wow. Wow.
So Patel is going to be called for the foul there. That's going to send the big fella, number 24, Jalen Tatum, to the free throw line.
I'm a little confused.
Biggest free throws of the game for Tatum, and he's just short on the first. He's done a good job. I tell you what, if you are Hillcrest, we're impartial here, but if you are Hillcrest, you have to at least hit this free throw, because Trey Hansborough is going to try to end this game here for Buford, and they will have to score here to win, as Hillcrest now leads by 1.
Well, this is the matchup I'm going to want right here.
Hansborough loses the handle for a second. Now he has it. He's going to be called for the offensive foul.
Uh-oh, young man hurt his knee.
He came down a little funny on that knee. It did look like when he went to make that move that he came down a little awkwardly on it. You could see it buckle.
You hate to see that.
That you do. Hopefully it's one of those things to where he just tweaked it. He'll get some attention from the training team here on site. As Buford is going to send number 0, Austin Mize, into the game.
But, you know, when your star goes down, it's time for somebody else to step up and be a star. You know, somebody else, it's time for them to step up and make that big play.
So you'll look for Buford to foul here. Try to put somebody else on the line. You got a touchdown pass.
Are they going to call the intentional foul? You know, does high school have the clear path to the basket rule?
That's a good question. We'll have to ask. We'll have to ask the officials.
Referee shaking it off. He's saying it's not intentional. So it's a 2-shot there in the double bonus. Double bonus. Hillcrest is up by 1.
They went for the touchdown pass there. Hooker did a receiver job that even Julio Jones here in Atlanta will be proud of there. He was not going to let Iverson get to that ball. Hooker with a miss from the free throw line.
Big miss.
Coach Whitehart going to sub in number 1, Will Springer. Springer, a sharpshooter for Buford. Also, those long arms going to be good for getting a shot off even under duress. 9.6 seconds left on the clock. Hooker makes the second free throw. So 77-75. Buford gets it into Neal. They try to get it ahead to Hansborough. It's tipped away. He's able to get the layup and tie the game up. Tyler Hansborough. The knee was hurt, but obviously it's not too bad as he's back in the game making a clutch play.
My goodness. He was on his deathbed a few minutes ago, and he's back and running at full speed to lay that thing up. Woo.
Let's go back to the CoachHemi.com instant replay cam to see that last play unfold.
And you know,
and tie the game up. Tyler. My apologies on that. Now here's the last play unfolding here on the CoachHemi.com. He's able to lay on and tie the game up. Tyler grabbing it and finishing to make it a 77-77 ball game. I'm glad he's more clutch than I was on the instant replay there on that one. Got you the image when you needed it. But Trey Hansborough, ever since you mentioned the turning point, we talked about how he had been a little quiet. I think part of it was in a large part due to the defense that Hillcrest was playing. But he turned it on, and he turned it on for good here in this game.
Now, 3 seconds to go. 3.2 seconds to go. You saw they just tried to throw the, the touchdown pass to Hooker, and he got fouled on the break. Do you think they go back with the same thing, Marcus? I would.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why not?
Coach Choplin getting the game plan ready.
Oh, and Hooker's limping.
Did not see that, and you can kind of see his legs tightening up. It looks like it's not anything serious beyond just the cramping. You could see that when he missed that first free throw in the deuce that he shot, and you can tell he's just cramping very badly right now. And as we were able to see, with LeBron James in the game 1 of those finals, it's not easy to get those cramps out. Sometimes you can just stretch it out and be good to go. Sometimes it's really just a waiting period to where you just got to rehydrate to be able to get them out. So we'll see if Hooker is able to work the cramp out or if he'll have to sit.
Now, if this game happens to go to overtime and the young man isn't in the game, that's going to really hurt. Get a little bit of free basketball and one of the 2 stars are missing.
That would hurt. Randall Shaw has proven that he can fill in gaps where needed, but if you're Reggie Choplin, you want to have both pieces of your most potent 1-2 punch combination out there for you. 3.2 seconds left. Here in this one, number 25, Darius White to inbound it for Hillcrest. White needs to get it in. He's got a shot. Good if it goes.
Oh, almost. Free basketball, Marcus.
Just to the right. We're going to need more time to decide this one. We appreciate you joining us here on SUV TV. When we get back, we'll bring you the OT period. We need more time to decide this matchup between Buford and Hillcrest. Appreciate our sponsors here of the Jericho Classic and the webcast. Crossover. Time is a commodity. Coaches, let crossover save you some by breaking down your game film for you. Gwinnett Daily Post. Check out all things Gwinnett at GwinnettDailyPost.com. Also, their specific prep sports arm, Gwinnett Prep Sports. Check them out. Also, the good folks over at CBA Sports, the official sports construction specialist of the SUV. And last but not least, also CoachHenny.com. Be sure to check out your X's and O's for all of the coaches out there. This game is a prime example of the game time situations where you need certain plays at your disposal. CoachHenny.com has plenty of them.
Marcus, this is exciting basketball right here. This is exciting basketball. Hillcrest thought they were going to sneak down 85 and get them a good win and go back home, but hey, this is a tough one right here. And let's see if Booker's not in the game. Booker is not in the game.
Still trying to work the cramps out there on the sideline.
And neither is Shaw.
So we'll see. Hansborough, it was, as we mentioned, the dog in Hansborough that was able to help him get buckets when Buford needed it most. He's still a little hobbled there with that knee, but still out there. We'll see if he cools off a little bit here in OT or continues his hot streak.
Ooh. Good hustle play. Great job by Caldwell.
Austin Caldwell hustling to get to that one. So Hillcrest will inbound it. They'll get it up top to number 20. That's Uriah Morris. White baseline.
Oh, good block by the big man.
No, sir, says Kyron Galloway. Not the first time he swatted it out. Layup on the other end. Won't stay down for Hansborough. Here's White. He has a player ahead. He sees him. Galloway was right there ready to contest. White's layup is no good.
Galloway's a force underneath that basket. He is a force.
The archive footage of this broadcast would definitely indicate that is.
There's Mr. Booker.
He's got a cluster of blocks and several shots changed throughout the course of this game. If Hillcrest is able to hold on to it, you'll look at the contributions of a Tyler Hooker, Randall Shaw. It's been a good total team effort, but Darius White has been a very important piece for them. You can appreciate a guy that never stops moving. He's always running the floor, whether it's getting back on defense or being right there to finish and attack the offensive glass. So he knocks down the first free throw there, and we have our first point of the overtime period. Hooker back into the game. Saw him right there. He had to sit for the first couple minutes of overtime, trying to work the cramps out in his legs. You can see him barely picking the feet up, trying to prevent from tweaking that cramp in his leg again. 78-77, 1 point advantage for Hillcrest. I think what's going to be key here for Buford is you have to give, Hansborough a chance to be able to make things happen for you. Not that he has to be the only guy that shoots here in the OT, but he's been your hot hand Milcom. So if you're Buford, you have to take care of the ball despite this pressure. We saw Alpharetta in a late game situation really help turn the Wolves over, even though they were able to still hold on. This is another crucial game situation where you got to take care of the ball, give yourself the best chance to win. Trey Hansborough bring on the free throw line is a good way to do it. Not as good as we'd hoped, Sylvester, but I think we're doing a good job to only have 2 Tyler Hansborough instead of Trey Hansborough mishaps here so far in this game.
Both pretty impressive plays. Oh, good backdoor cut by the young man. Oh, you got to finish.
He's been using it all game, and you can tell by Hooker, not to make any excuses for him, but when that leg's cramping up or you feel that tinge and it's just waiting, not the same lift on that reverse that we've seen. He's been creeping in the back door this entire game. That in addition to a variety of moves. That ball's going to be out of bounds, so a turnover will turn it over to Buford. They have a 1 point advantage, 2:24 left to play here in this game. Hansborough gets it. He'll be guarded by Morris. Here's Mills. Cowwild's been solid defensively this entire game. Tough shot by Mills, but he scores it.
That was a tough shot by Taylor Mills right there. Head coach technical foul.
Coach Choplin going to get called for the technical.
In high school, when the coach gets the technical, he has to sit down. They don't put him out after the first one, but he will have to sit down. Now, I'm kind of curious. Now, in South Carolina rules, if a hopefully it doesn't happen, but if a coach gets kicked out of the game, he can't coach for the rest of the for the rest of the week, regardless of whether they have one game or two. He can't coach. But I wonder what happens when you're in a tournament like this, when it's just you're out of state.
Yeah.
I wonder if those same rules apply.
As Hansborough
It's a Waffle House on every corner. It's a Waffle House on every corner.
Here we see the
But
4-point play.
Oh my goodness!
Tied the game initially.
It's straight.
Even though Hillcrest came back and answered. And here we see we're ready to resume play. After that last free throw, it's a 5-point advantage for Buford. Trying to add to it. Can't get it to go there. Here's Hooker. Boy, still getting the other way.
Oh, my goodness.
Faster than most people with two legs that are cramping up. Gets that one to go to make it 80-83. We've got a Jared Cook Classic here between Buford and Hillcrest. As Hooker's going to get called for the foul. That's going to send number 4, Devin Neal, to the free throw line. This is going to extend the completion time of day 3 of the Jared Cook Classic a little bit, but silver lining is we've got very good basketball going on here and a great matchup coming up with Whitfield Academy versus North Gwinnett as the nightcap. It'll be our Tuesday night showcase game. Brandon Clay is here on site. He'll be joining us for color commentary as soon as Sylvester Williams and I wrap up this broadcast. As Neal trying to wrap it up for Buford. You talk about Coach Whitehart having some games that his team can really learn from and to a certain extent stick their chest out about as far as this season is concerned. A lot of these battle-tested wins that teams get, sometimes you have to wait a couple weeks into the season to get them. Coach Whitehart has some very good ones just in 3 days here at the Classic.
Exactly. And Hillcrest in the state of South Carolina, Hillcrest is one of the larger schools, or they were one of the larger schools. It's a 4A school, and I think Buford is 2A, if I'm not mistaken. Or did they move up to 3A?
They moved up to 3A.
They moved up to 3A. Okay, so, it's a sizable difference. They're playing a lot better competition than I think they probably would play in 2A or 3A in Georgia. Hooker knocks down that first one.
And you know what? I believe Buford is a 4A school.
They're 4A?
Yeah, I believe they moved up to 4A because it was them versus Morgan County in the 4A state championship. It's an 81-85 ball game. As Trey Hansborough is going to earn another trip to the free throw line. And you know what, Sly? I could hear by the tone in your voice, you're not exactly sold on what I said. And to be honest, I'm kind of second-guessing myself a little bit. So with all of the tools that we have available on the web, I'm going to go ahead and confirm that state classification.
The internet is out there.
For Buford. But first things first, Hansborough at the free throw line adding to their advantage, as it's now a 6-point cushion for Buford. But stranger things have happened as their run through the Jared Cook Classic will illustrate.
Oh, my goodness. And he had to hoop in some harm.
One clutch performance.
Oh, they call timeout. They call timeout.
One clutch performance deserves another, as we've seen Hooker and Trey Hansborough give us plenty of key moments here in this game. Go there. Here's Hooker. Boy, still getting the other way.
Oh, my goodness.
Faster than most people. Nice move there. Could have been a potential 3-point play, but he's able to finish with the layup. And then we look right back at the CoachJimmy.com play to see him hit the clutch 3. So he's got the last 5 points
And he had to hoop in some harm.
In a game that has seen some very clutch moments. He's got 39 points total. 39 points with cramps throughout the game, Sly. That's not a bad way to finish. And also, Buford is a member of the 4A classification here in Georgia. They're Region 8 4A. As I mentioned, state championship runner-up last year to Morgan County. They're used to being a part of some very big games. That Morgan County Buford rivalry was one of the best in the state last year with Tukey Brown, C.J. Turman, and the guys over at Morgan County versus then a Buford team that included DeMarcus Simons and Rakeem Lubin. So we've got 39 points.
Oh, with the steal. Oh, they turned it back over.
So it's a 3-point ball game, 84-87 after that Tyler Hooker three-pointer. Hooker has 39.
You got to be careful on the number of fouls the young man has right there.
Trey Hansborough has 40 points.
That's 5. Oh, that is 5.
5 fouls on Tyler Hooker.
Boy, you hate for that one.
That's got to be tough for Coach Choplin.
And I don't think he knows it yet. Yeah, he knows it. Young man's played a great game.
That is an understatement as Tyler Hooker goes to the bench with 39 points here, hobbled by cramps over the past few quarters. But still a hell of a game by Hooker, the senior guard, listed at 6 feet. Represented the SC Raptors Elite in the Hillcrest program very well here today. Trey Hansborough goes to the free throw line and adds to his point total as well. Three-pointer on the way. That's off the mark there. You know, Trey Hansborough, as potent as he's been scoring the ball, number 34 for Buford, Kyron Galloway is a player that you got to be able to recognize his impact on this game with the number of shots he's blocked, changed, the rebounds he's had. And it looks like Coach Choplin has instructed his guys to just play defense, try to come up with the steal. They are not going to foul. Actually, they will. Like they wanted to go for the steal. You know, take about 10 or 15 seconds to gamble, see if they could do it.
Foul on number 2, Coward.
That's going to send number 5, Taylor Mills, to the free throw line. Mills has 20 points on the day. I think the box score of this game, when you look at Hansborough with 40, Mills with 20, I think it's been reflective of the 1-2 that they've been for Coach Whitehart and Buford here in this tournament. As you can see, Whitfield Academy there in the far corner, waiting and ready to take on the host Bulldogs of North Gwinnett. Hillcrest with it. Morris going to try a three-pointer. Too strong. Mills has the rebound, and now it looks like these free throws are going to be a formality. As you see Coach Weinhardt over there pacing for Buford, but it's a different kind of pace than what we saw approaching the last few minutes of the fourth quarter. This is a pace of, it looked like we're going to come away with probably our toughest win so far in a Jared Cook Classic that's already seen a couple tough victories anyway. The theme in my talks with him prior to production have been answering the bell, having guys that answer the bell. And, you know, Trey Hansborough leading there vocally and by example, but some guys that definitely answered the bell and then some, and Kyron Galloway. Sahil Patel came in, contributed off the bench. Taylor Mills had a great game as well.
And one thing about Taylor Mills, down the stretch, these last, couple of seconds or whatever down the stretch, Tyler Mills has just been nailing free throws. And, you know, and this is what a good team does. A good team, if you give them something, they will take it. And, you know, you gave him these free throws, and so he's taking them, and he's using these free throws and putting this game out of reach.
That was in the freshman, Lamont Smith, to the free throw line.
Ah, the young freshman gets the friendly roll.
That's the Gwinnett County roll for Smith, checking into the game for Buford as Trey Hansborough goes and has a seat. As you can hear the applause from the Buford faithful here on site. That's what 40 points and one of the more clutch performances here on SUV TV will get you. Continuing the fight, both teams. Three-pointer on the way. Too strong. And that is going to do it here in OT. We have a final. Buford able to escape this one, 84-95. A great Jared Cook Classic for Buford in general and Trey Hansborough specifically. I'm Marcus Burnett. He's Sylvester Williams. Be sure to stick with us as we'll have Brandon Clay live on the mic for North Gwinnett versus Whitfield Academy here to finish out 2014 Jared Cook Classic. Thanks for joining us.